been knew that was phony, I been knew that. Bitch, I see what lonely. See little pot of red gold. Talk 9-5 to the cold, bitch.
Yo, today about to be reacting to how MK Slint went from comedian to drug kingpin. Now that's actually kind of crazy, like honestly. When I first seen this a couple years ago, this headline on the internet, I thought it was just a joke because he funny, bro. He a funny dude, funny guy. But no, let's see what actually happened. I'm genuinely curious to see what happened. And I think he got out right away.
5 people face charges after a drug bust in Irondale, and one of them is a popular social media influencer. 21-year-old Mark Harris Holmes is charged with 2 counts of drug trafficking and possession charges. Holmes has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
From making the internet laugh with skits to getting caught up in federal raids and running a fentanyl operation, MK Slat's story is one of the wild.
He got caught with the Fed, like the drug kingpin over Fed. Now, I don't think he was probably the kingpin, but he was the bigger name. So it's like, you know, he got tied to kingpin with him being a bigger name. But we gonna see, bro. They know more than I
ever seen. Before the viral videos, the jokes, and the skits, he was Markel Holmes, a kid from Alabama, where you either make money, get clout, or get caught slipping and end up a pack. Kid from Alabama, where you either make money, get clout, or get caught slipping and end up a pack. But how does someone go from posting goofy-ass skits online to becoming a headline in a federal investigation?
That's a great question,
and was this downfall something he saw coming? Or was it all caught on camera before anyone even realized? Just look at bro. He's the last person I would expect to be running a whole drug ring. Today, we're breaking down everything about MK Slat. The rise, the laughs, the empire, and the chaos that followed.
Nah.
You, the small one, bring your leg here. It's my yard. Hey.
So think of it as like a TV ad with a catalog component where
I'm gonna get an ad block
when
I get my charge. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it.
You want to check in with me, homie? You get shanked, homie. Straight up.
Before MK Slat ever went viral, before anybody knew his face from Instagram skits or TikTok clips, he was just Markel Holmes, a regular YN growing up in Alabama, in an environment that didn't exactly hand out many exits. Alabama isn't Hollywood. It's not Atlanta. It's not LA. It's low-key a shithole. It's the type of place where everybody knows everybody, police move.
It's a well-populated shithole. Let's put it that way.
And opportunities feel limited unless you're willing to leave or hustle. From a young age, MK was surrounded by the same pressures a lot of kids from the hood deal with. Money problems, street influence, and that constant push to grow up fast. There wasn't much room for being just a kid for too long. You either adapt, crash out, or find something that separates you. And for MK, that something was personality. People who knew him early on described him as loud, animated, always joking, always acting out scenes.
You should play some of his clips, bro. This, like, the audio on these clips are hilarious. That's why I keep on doing that noise.
He's the same size as my... Did you? The same size. Yeah, the same size. Yep.
He wasn't the biggest, wasn't the toughest, but he knew how to command attention. In school and around the neighborhood, he was that dude cracking jokes, exaggerating stories, bro. Imitating people, basically turning
in high school, bro. He was hilarious. He broke out when I was in high school, bro. Like this, he's hilarious, bro. I just can't believe he was a drug king.
That's important because comedy for MK wasn't just entertainment, it was survival. When you grow up around chaos, laughing at it becomes a coping mechanism. Instead of talking about trauma directly, you joke through it. Instead of showing fear, you turn it into a skit. That's how a lot of YNs move. Humor becomes armor, but at the same time, MK wasn't growing up in a bubble. He still saw the street side early. He still watched older dudes getting money the fast way. He still saw guns, drugs, and respect tied to image. So even while he was the funny one, he was still absorbing the same environment, learning what gets you attention, what gets you respect, and what gets you labeled as him in the hood. And that's where things start getting tricky. Because when you grow up somewhere that doesn't separate entertainment from real life, sometimes the line gets blurry. The jokes start sounding like confessions. The skits start mirroring reality. And before you realize it, you're not just making fun of the lifestyle anymore, you're living inside it. At this stage, MK Slat wasn't famous yet. He wasn't rich. He wasn't on the radar. But the foundation was already there. A kid from a rough environment,
this is a natural crazy tattoo on his neck. The little purple devil emoji, he got that tattoo on his neck though. Come on, bro. He's gonna regret that when he gets older.
That rewards attention more than direction. And once the internet entered the picture, everything changed.
I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
When MK Slat first touched the internet, it wasn't on no industry timing, no management, no rollout, no plan. It was just a YN with a phone, Wi-Fi, and a sense of humor that felt too real to ignore.
That tattoo is
His
wild.
skits didn't look polished, and that's exactly why they worked. MK wasn't doing scripted comedy like some influencer trying to be clean.
Like, bro, if you didn't know who he was, and you just watch this video today, like a random video, you would think he really sped, bro.
He was recreating real hood moments, the dumb arguments, the over-the-top reactions, the crash-out characters everybody recognizes from their block. The type of skits where you watching like, nah, bro, I know somebody exactly like this. That authenticity made him different. While a lot of comedians online were exaggerating fake situations, MK was exaggerating real energy. Same slang, same facial expressions, same chaotic vibe. And because he grew up in it, it didn't feel forced, it felt natural. The algorithm loved that. Clips started circulating fast on Instagram and TikTok. One skit would pop, then another, then another. Next thing you know, MK Slat isn't just funny, he's recognizable. People quoting his lines, pages reposting him without credit, comments full of, this too real, and bro funny as hell. And for the first time, MK
But it's like them pages that posted him without, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, that helped him grow bigger to a bigger audience around the, you know what I'm saying? Around the United States, maybe around the world, but that definitely helped him grow, so. Shout out to them plug pages.
Most YNs from his environment don't get early on. Attention that paid. Views turned into followers, followers turned into money, and money turned into validation. That part is important. Because when you grow up broke or stressed, money doesn't just feel good, it feels like proof. Proof that you made it. Proof that you're doing something right. Proof that you're smarter than the system that tried to box you in.
That's real though. That's real stuff right there. Because if you don't got money, then you're doing something wrong in life. Therefore, you need to figure out how to get it. Therefore, you can look like you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
The internet also comes with pressure.
We all want to get money.
Once MK got known for a certain type of humor, street humor, crash out humor, switch jokes, drug jokes, that's what the audience expected. And every time he posted, he had to outdo the last one. So the skits started getting louder. The characters started getting wilder. The lines between parody and reality started thinning. At first, nobody saw it as dangerous. It was just jokes.
Hey man, let me get an ad block when I get monetized.
Building your app.
Don't worry about that though.
On days 44. Describe it.
Yeah, just stay down with me.
Just
I'm
content.
with
But slowly, his online persona stopped being a character and started becoming an identity. The same energy that made people laugh also started shaping how people saw him and how he saw himself. MK Slat was no longer just a funny dude from Alabama. He was the crash-out comedian, the exaggerated hood stereotype.
When was MK Slat crashing out? He crashing out because he looking at Victoria's Secret mannequins?
The internet version of somebody who lives reckless. And the more the audience rewarded that image, the harder it became to separate it from real life. By this point, MK was winning, views were up, money was coming in, clout was real. But beneath the jokes, the environment never changed. And that's where the danger really started. At some point, the internet stopped laughing with MK Slat and started watching him closely. Because if you go back and really study the content, there was a shift. Not all at once, but enough that people who were paying attention could feel it. The skits didn't just reference street life anymore. They started flexing it. Jokes about switches turned into videos with real guns in the background. Funny exaggerations turned into imagery that felt
Now that you say that, I mean, he started getting guns, you know what I'm saying? Start shooting. I could see it.
Like parody and more like proof.
What going on? What happened, bitch?
Man, the boy had got the bump and the boy ended up hit me.
Who all the one?
Bro, Terry and them.
Terry?
Yeah. Man, I don't know who the other nigga was, but
got to have the dirty club.
And the character that once felt cartoonish started looking
He went Bro, this is a crazy spot to pause on. He went from special ed to gangster special ed. That's what happened. Yes, sir.
Real. That's usually how it goes.
That was a
when
crazy
somebody
pause
grows up
sequence,
around
bro.
a lifestyle, makes jokes about it, and then gets rewarded for those jokes, the brain starts mixing signals. The audience thinks it's entertainment. The creator starts thinking it's branding. And branding comes with expectations. MK's comments section changed. Instead of just laughing, people started hyping the image. He really liked that. This ain't just skits. Bro living what he rapping. That type of validation is dangerous, especially for a young dude who's still figuring himself
I feel like
out.
that shocked everybody though. Did it not?
Because now you're not just being funny, you're being watched as a representation. And instead of stepping back, MK leaned into it. The tattoos started stacking up, including the infamous emoji-style ink that people clowned at first, then questioned later. Stacking up.
He got an interesting tattoo choice. Okay. W cross, you know what I'm saying? Put his faith on his body. Then he put the character that blew him up on his body. This is a crazy character. Number one, I guess I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But what
infamous
else?
Emoji-style ink that people clowned at first, then questioned later.
The silly face emoji, whatever. Nah, that's terrible. Then he put hearts right here. It looked like he let a toddler do it. You know what I'm saying? I guessed it straight.
Appearance got more aggressive. His music leaned darker. His visuals got louder. Parking lots, weapons, crash out energy everywhere. To the internet, it looked like an aesthetic. To law enforcement, it looked like evidence. And that's the part a lot of creators don't understand. The internet never forgets, and the feds don't care about jokes. Every post is a timestamp. Every video is a snapshot. Every just playing moment becomes context later. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, MK wasn't just a content creator anymore. He was moving in circles that didn't match the image of a comedian who had something to lose. And once you're known, you don't get the luxury of moving reckless quietly. That's where the first real danger signs pop up. Because when the persona of moving reckless quietly, that's where them
juices taste so terrible, bro. They leave like a little waxy taste on my tongue.
Real danger signs pop up. Because when the persona you're selling online matches what investigators are already watching in real life, the internet stops being a stage and starts being a paper trail. Most fans didn't watch it. They just kept scrolling. But the shift had already happened. The comedian was still there, but now he was sharing space with something heavier, something riskier, something that didn't disappear when the camera cut off.
Bro.
Something heavier.
Okay, I believe him. I believe
riskier.
I believe he was around that fit. Look at him, bro. Yep, he was playing that
didn't disappear when the camera cut off. And the moment the character became reality, the countdown had already started. At this point, MK wasn't just joking about drugs or switches anymore. He was around people who were really in it, people who didn't see the internet as a joke and definitely didn't see it as a shield. The more he leaned into that lifestyle, the more reckless the optics became. Guns in videos, aggressive music, visuals that look less like comedy and more like statements. And here's the part a lot of YNs don't think about. When you're already known, everything you do hits harder. Police don't need rumors, they need patterns. And MK's pattern was loud. To law enforcement, this wasn't a comedian acting wild for views. It was someone with visibility repeatedly placing himself around it.
Hey, yo, let me get an ad blocker when I get monetized. Yo, don't worry about it. Just stay down to the come up, and I'm going to come up with the stay down.
Illegal activity, posting it publicly, and daring the system to ignore it. That's when bigger eyes start watching. Federal eyes don't move fast, they move quiet.
So basically, he got the feds on his back from posting. I mean, let me be, I will never be in that position so I can speak on it, you know. But let me be in a position where I'm moving heavyweight and I got a big audience. It's either one or the other, bro. You can't play with that because you're playing with your freedom at that point, as you can obviously see. Now they label him as a kingpin. Now his mans might be on his, you know what I'm saying? Now his mans might be telling whoever he had under him. They might be telling him he was the kingpin.
They wait, they build.
The feds probably trying to get all the people that they arrested to point the finger at MK. You see where it get all afraid, fuzzy at.
When real life caught up. By the time MK Slat's name was ringing online, his real life was moving in a completely different direction, one that didn't care about views, followers, or viral skits. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Fame doesn't remove you from your environment. It just puts a spotlight on it. And MK never really left. While the internet still saw him as the funny YN playing character, people close to the situation say his lifestyle was starting to line up a little too well with the image he was posting. The same slang, the same references, the same energy, except now it wasn't just for content.
This is usually... To be fair, it's like sometimes that's what a great actor has to do. A great actor has to take on the actual role that they're portraying to be. Like, this might be a bad example, but the dude that played the Joker, the one that had killed himself, R.I.P. him. Oh, damn, the one that had off himself, R.I.P. him. But it's like, I say that to say this. He locked himself in a hotel room and studied the Joker's aneurysms, his slang, his everything, just everything about the Joker. Trying to become the Joker, understand why the Joker was a Joker. And all in all, He paid the hefty price with his life. That's what comes with being a good actor.
How it happens. You get money, but not enough to fully separate. You get clout, but not enough to relocate. You get attention, but not enough protection. So instead of leaving the environment, you start mixing roles. Comedian online, street dude offline, and that's a dangerous balance. And by the time the internet started clowning MK for being too extra, the investigation was already deeper than anyone realized. Because while fans were laughing and critics were calling it self-snitching, street life doesn't care if you're famous. It only cares if you're involved. And once those two worlds fully collided, there was no way out that didn't end ugly. The raid wasn't random. The charges weren't sudden. They were the result of time.
He low-key got them other people busted too, so I'd be mad too. I wouldn't be surprised if the feds like, yeah, we only own TR because MK's because of his skits. And then like, what? Well, he was doing that, yada 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 yada. You know what I'm saying? That's why you can't mix it too, man.
In a lifestyle that got documented too well. And when the knock finally came, it came heavy. In December 2023, everything MK Slat had been building online and offline came to a hard stop. Early in the morning, around 7 a.m., multiple law enforcement agencies pulled up to a residence in Irondale, Alabama to execute a search warrant connected to an ongoing narcotics investigation. This wasn't a random bust. This wasn't local cops acting on a tip. This was coordinated.
Really?
According to official reports, the operation involved the Leeds Police Department, the Irondale Police Department, and later drew attention from federal agencies, including the ATF and Homeland Security. Inside the residence, officers took multiple individuals into custody, including MK Slat real name Markel Demetrius Holmes, along with several associates. What they allegedly found is what changed everything. Police reported recovering multiple firearms, including Glocks, equipment used to convert semi-automatic weapons into fully automatic firearms.
Man, they about to get through under the jail. They about to do some time. All of them. No matter how much they tell, they got switchies on top of Fed. Nigga, what? Switchy itself is like a 10. Then Fed, boy.
Known as switches, illegal narcotics, including fentanyl and methamphetamine, drug packaging materials, and paraphernalia. According to authorities, the residence was allegedly being used as a drug packaging and distribution location, not just a place people were hanging out. That distinction matters because possession is one thing, trafficking is another, and modifying firearms pushes it into a whole different category.
Yeah,
Law enforcement publicly stated that
it's been in a different category, but now it's outside the frame. You know what I'm saying? You looking at double digits, football numbers, boy.
All of what was recovered suggested organized activity, not personal use. That's when the narrative officially shifted from internet comedian arrested to something much more serious.
Muriel Bailey here at the live desk. 5 people face charges after a drug bust in Irondale, and one of them is a popular social media influencer. 21-year-old Mark Holmes is charged with 2 counts of drug trafficking and possession charges. Holmes has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube and thousands on TikTok, known to many as SlimeBall MK. 4 others face drugs and weapons charges as well. Police say they found fully automatic weapons.
Look, the girls, they automatic snitch. They off the panel, but the 2 guys, it's a iffy. The dude all the way on the left, him right here, he looked like he busting off pills.
Stolen property during a search warrant at a house in Irondale.
The bond amounts told the story before the internet even caught up. Some defendants were hit with bonds in the hundreds of thousands. MK Slat himself was reportedly given a multi-million-dollar bond. That's not normal.
Multi-million-dollar bond? Oh yeah, they definitely charged him as the kingpin. He paid $2 million to get out. $2 million.
Once firearms with switches are involved, the federal government doesn't treat it lightly. A single switch can carry mandatory prison time on the federal level. Combine that with narcotics trafficking, and suddenly the situation goes from state trouble to career-ending consequences. While the internet was still trying to figure out what happened, the system was already moving. This wasn't a content moment. This wasn't a headline that fades in a week. This was the type of case that changes lives permanently. And as news spread, fans started realizing something uncomfortable. The jokes didn't protect him. The clout didn't slow it down. And the internet
that just showed as a thing to be used against him in court. Ain't that something?
Didn't help it hurt. Because now every old post looks different. Every skit, every flex, and every visual. All of it became context.
Then he can't say that it's AI or nothing of the sort. or he can't even delete it because it's all over the place on meme pages and whatnot.
MK Slat's story isn't rare, it's just public. It shows how fast clout can turn into a trap, how self-snitching doesn't feel dangerous when the algorithm rewards it, and how the system doesn't care if you were just joking. Once the persona controls you, the ending usually isn't yours to write. If you a YN, a creator, or anybody chasing attention, understand this. The internet never forgets, and the streets don't care who you are.
Indeed. With that being said, man, find the hustle, love the hustle, and stick to the hustle. You know, if he would have just kept doing this sketch and then stick to YouTube and other short content, he wouldn't even be in this position. He'll be 10 times bigger than he is now. Let's be real. No, let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. I think it's tragic that he's a kingpin. He's going to be looking at all that time, him and those other people. But hey, man, he signed up for it. Therefore, gotta come eventually. But no, I'm going to catch you niggas in the next one. Yes, sir.